How's it going, everyone? I just wanted to make a video on how to tie a drop shot. I'm actually going to be tying two types of drop shots that I normally use. So with that said, let's get into it. So for this first setup is just your typical drop shot. I'm sure there's tons of videos on YouTube on how to tie a drop shot already, but I'm just going to go over it again. I use a size 1 or 1/0 owner Mutu light circle hook. I believe that's what it's called. And you want to go through the hook eye once, making sure that the hook point is pointed up. So this will be your tag end. This side is from your rod tip. I tie a Palomar knot, so I go back through the hook eye, see, go back through the hook eye there. See if we can try this. Make sure I got enough tag end. You gotta tie an overhand knot. And that loop's coming around. Hook goes through. A little messy here. And you just want to cinch this down. Now this is very important because you don't want that. See how that I pull that tight and you got the hook point pointing down? That is definitely not what you want. You want to make sure that the hook point is pointing up. So you're going to go right back through the hook eye from the top. Pull that tag end all the way through. Now when you pull it, that hook will be perpendicular to the line with the hook point pointing up. And you'll finish this off by getting your sinker. I use a cylinder or a teardrop sinker, drop shot sinker. And with this type of drop shot sinker, you could just pinch it off. There you have it. Typical drop shot setup. Now for the second setup that I want to show you, I find myself using this a lot more than the standard drop shot. But so again, using a number 1 or 1/0 owner Mutu light circle hook. Now this is just the way I prefer to drop shot. You go through the hook eye, again making sure that the hook point is pointed up. Now I like to thread on my weight like so. Now I usually have my hook hooked onto something, anything, to make it a little bit easier, but I don't have anything right now. But definitely you could do it without. So I'll have my hook out here, and my tag end is however long I need it. Now I'll grab the line just like this, and I'll make a loop like that, and I'll go around 3 times. Now from here, I'll take my hook and go through that loop that I just created, and I'll pull it through and cinch it down. Now this creates like a dropper loop, basic in essence. Now why I like this is it makes Texas rigging this a lot easier. Say if I'm going to be fishing some kind of cover or timber, I could just grab my worm here. Well, actually, I should try it out with the standard drop shot. Standard drop shot, and thread your worm onto your hook if you're Texas rigging. And you kind of be mindful where you come out here. Now a lot of people, they kind of make a mistake. They go a little too far, like you see how I did there. And then you'll come back up, and then they'll come back up through the worm, exposing it. You come up like so. Now a lot of times, you see, this gets all bunched up, and it gets a little wonky by the time you have this all rigged up, because the line goes into the plastic here, and it just throws the whole bait sideways. So that's why I came up with using a dropper loop. I don't remember exactly what this knot was called. I think it was called a blood bite knot. But basically with that dropper loop now I have some room to play with. I could thread on my worm, come through here, get that out of the way. Now you'll see that the worm goes up on that line. It actually stays away from the main line. So yeah, that's how I usually tie my drop shot if I'll be fishing heavy timber and gonna be using a Texas rig. Now the good thing about this is you don't have to go through the hook eye again, and the weight of the hook actually acts kind of like a keel. and it makes sure that that hook point is always pointed up, because it'll right itself. And then what I also found out when I had a fish tank is that it kind of gives the worm a little sideways shimmy, so I don't really have to impart that much more action to this bait when fishing it this way.